Jakarta was supposed to be one of the easiest cities for us to rule out our retirement destination. It's one of the largest cities in the world, crowded and known for some of the worst traffic in Southeast Asia. But after 12 nights, parts of our daily life here were far more comfortable and convenient than we expected.
The question is, were Jakarta's modern amenities enough to overcome the traffic, limited walkability, and the hazy air we experienced? By the end of this video, we'll tell you whether this massive city earned a place on our retirement list.
Hi, we are Sean and Tina. We retired early, sold almost everything, and now traveling the world full time. We will show you how you can live abroad comfortably on $2,500 a month with real budgets, tips, and destinations that can make retirement affordable and exciting. So, hit that subscribe button and see how you can retire sooner, travel longer, and live more. Our first impression of Jakarta was that it felt much more modern than we expected. The moment we walked into the airport, we were impressed by how clean and well kept the area was. After we drove into the city, we noticed immediately how modern the skylines were, the large buildings, and the busyness of the city. But we also noticed the traffic immediately. Jakarta is a massive city, and getting around during the busiest times of the day can take time.
The biggest surprise for us was definitely the hazy sky. During several days of our 12-day stay, the haze was noticeably visible, and we started to pay attention to the air quality index and the amount of time that we spent outdoors. The air quality can change from day to day, so we're not saying that our short 12-day stay represents Jakarta's air quality for the entire year. But based on what we experienced, it would definitely be a consideration for us if we're looking at this destination long term.
So where did we stay? We actually stayed at two different locations, and the first location was the Holiday Inn and Suites, Jakarta Johar Mada. And we spent 5 nights at this property, and it was close to Old Town and Chinatown.
Yeah, I would say this location is probably a more traditional Jakarta. Like Tina says, we were close to the Old Town area, so that was pretty good. And there was also a lot of construction in this area because they're doing phase 2 of their train system there in Jakarta. So that presented some challenges when we were trying to walk around the city.
And another thing we do want you to remember, this particular property that we booked was a smoking hotel. Now, I have to say that this is something that I have not really paid attention to up until this point, but that is not one of our check-off items on our list to stay at. So I can say going forward, this will not be one of our options. So if you are booking your accommodation, please make sure you check and see if it is a smoking hotel. I mean, we really, we just don't like it at all. So we really did not enjoy that part of it.
Right.
Now, they did have free breakfast, which was great. I can say, guys, over the years, Holiday Inn has stepped up their game when it comes to free breakfast. I mean, it was laid out like a 5-star hotel.
Yeah, no doubt.
And the options are just endless on what you can get. I think they had where you could, considering that we get free breakfast with our stay, they had it, I think, where we could order off the menu or you could do the buffet.
Right.
But the buffet was a go.
Yeah. Now, the second property that we stayed in was the Grand Hyatt Jakarta. This was located north of the Holiday Inn. We spent 7 nights there. This was a luxury hotel in every aspect.
Yes, it was. It was very comfortable, um, just convenient to pretty much everything that we needed to get to. But the hotel property this was our first time
In a
staying
Grand
at a
Hyatt.
Grand Hyatt,
Yeah.
and it just really checked all the boxes off of our list.
Yeah, I will say the other thing that was pretty neat about it was connected to, I think it's called the Plaza Indonesia. This is a luxury mall, which made it super convenient because we didn't actually have to leave the hotel to get to the mall. So that was good. Considering some of the days we were there, the air quality was not great.
One thing to the luxury hotel, what we find out in that location is that different floors have different stores.
Yeah, in the mall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
mall,
yeah.
that in that plaza that Sean was speaking about. So we were able to find some stores that were more on our cost of living scale.
Right. Yeah, there was also a grocery store on the bottom floor of the mall, which made it super convenient for us to pick up, just some minor items that we needed while we were staying.
Yeah, and at this location we had lounge access. They also had easy dining options. They had a lounge there on the property where they did like in the evenings, maybe around 7 o'clock, they
Yeah.
had like live band.
Oh
and
yeah, down in one of the restaurants.
yeah, in one of
that's
the
right.
restaurants, and then they had another restaurant that served breakfast as well. I think they served dinner at that location.
Yeah, I would say from a location standpoint, the Grand Hyatt, when compared to the Holiday Inn, it was probably in a little more modern part of the city. In fact, phase one of the train system was already up and running in that part of town, so we did not see as much construction in that area as we did around the Holiday Inn, which made it a little bit easier, for us to navigate when we decided to walk around the city. The other thing I will say is it was located on a circle it's a roundabout there in the downtown area of Jakarta,
Oh, yeah.
which was very nice, very busy, but a very good attraction for a lot of the tourists.
Yeah, and we could actually see it from our room. So
right.
at night it would light up, and we could also see all the tourists that were down there
Right.
doing sightseeing late in the evenings.
Now, when it came to the food in Jakarta, I think there's probably a few questions we'd like to kind of ask ourselves. The first one was food convenient?
Absolutely, because we had food and beverage credits at the Holiday Inn, and we had lounge access at the Hyatt, which reduced our need to go out and get food. And our lounge access actually came with a guest of honor
Yeah.
that one of our friends gifted us. So that made our stay very special.
Yeah, the lounge access was definitely a game changer for us. I guess the next question would be, were we able to find food that matched our diet?
Yes, we found a great restaurant, and it was within walking distance, and it was called Baba Ali's Diner.
Yeah.
Ali's Diner. Which had very good plant-based foods.
Yeah, I'm gonna take full credit for that because I found that on Google. So it was good that it worked out for us. I would not have taken credit if it was bad.
I always tell y'all that Sean finds the restaurants on Google. And, for the ones of you that have not used Google, it is a very good platform because normally the people that are leaving the Google reviews are travelers like us.
Yeah.
Sean loves to do Google reviews himself, and it kind of helps other travelers when they're looking for restaurants to pick that perfect restaurant,
Right.
hopefully, that, can work out for us. So, yeah.
And then I guess the last question I would have would be, would we want to eat this way long term? I think that may be a little twist to that question.
Yeah, so the hotel restaurants and lounges were enjoyable, but maybe not the most realistic for most slow travelers.
Right.
Because most people may not want to stay in the hotel. They may want to get out
Yeah.
some evenings for dinner. And we do find ourselves doing that in certain areas, but as we explained earlier in the video, the air quality was one of the reasons that kind of kept us inside most of the time.
Yeah, not only that, when it comes to the food, at least in our case, people may not have status or the access to the lounge, which
That's
may,
right.
require them to go out.
To go out and get dinner. Yeah. So the next thing we have is transportation and walkability. These things are very important to us when we land in a location. So we always try to make sure, at least from our research. But once we get there, sometimes it's a little different.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened in this case, because when we first arrived, we were at the Holiday Inn, and this is where primarily all the construction was going on with the phase 2 of the train system. So it did really make walking around a little challenging, although, we did get out. I would say, once that's over, it'll be much better. But in this case, in that location at least, it did make walkability a challenge. Now, we were obviously able to access Grab, so we did use that. Now, when we moved to the Grand Hyatt, it was completely different. We had access to both phase 1 of the train system, which we did take advantage of. We also had Grab, but because there was less construction, we were able to walk around as well.
And, we talk about the construction, but this construction will be better for the future, for travelers and for the citizens there in Jakarta. So, sometimes we have to give them some leeway there. We don't always like construction, but it'll be better long term.
Yeah, now, Tinna mentioned the citizens, and I will say this. On Sundays, they have what's called Car Free Day. And what they do is they close down some of the major streets in the city center area. They close that down from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. And what that does is it gives the citizens opportunity to get out. We saw a lot of people exercising, riding bikes, jogging. But what I will say for those of us who are traveling, it can present an issue when it comes to getting to the airport. Because a lot of the major streets are closed down, so it may require your driver to do some maneuvering, and may take a little more time, for you to get where you're going to be going.
And that's exactly what our driver had to do, because we were flying out that Sunday morning, so he just had to take a little detour and just always prepare for extra time if you're doing it on the day that they're planning this event. Okay, the next thing we have on our list are things to do in Jakarta. And y'all know that we try to look for activities that are free. There's plenty of those. I don't want y'all to sound like we're being, cheap or whatever you want to call it, but there are a lot of free things to do in the cities, and we just want to make sure that y'all take advantage of those.
Yeah, and I'll mention just a few because we tried to take advantage of as many as we could in the time we were there. The first thing I would say from an historic standpoint, probably at the top of the list, is going to be Old Town. This is very popular with tourists, so if you go to this area, expect to see a lot of tourists there. It's got a lot of old historic buildings. They have like these old antique bikes that people like to come and ride.
Yeah, it's like a big square there.
And take pictures of. It also has, some shopping and some food carts, but also in some of the older buildings, they've come in and put, small businesses. One in particular that we went to was like a bakery. That was very nice, and we had a very good dessert there while we were visiting Old Town. I think probably the next most popular area is going to be Chinatown. You're entering Chinatown because it has a very large structure at the entrance to the main street that takes you into Chinatown. It's probably a great place to see because it just has so many booths.
Endless booths.
It's really like a large market. Some of it is indoor, some of it is outdoor. A lot of good food, a lot of good souvenirs if if you're looking for something like that. But I would say, if you're gonna be in the historic area, these are two places you definitely wanna check out. I would say next, probably from a cultural standpoint, the most popular would be the National Monument. This is a very large park in the city center. A lot of people come out, both tourists and locals,
Yes.
in the monument. It's got, a lot of space to walk around. It's got courts for volleyball and basketball and stuff like that.
Yeah, and people are sitting out with their blankets, having picnics or having their lunch out or late dinner. But it's a very massive area there for you to go out and walk around.
Enjoy the city. And one thing I did like about it was because when you're in the park, you can really get a good view of the Jakarta skyline. So that was pretty cool too. And then I think probably another cultural place to see would be the cathedral, which is just probably about a 10-minute walk from the National Monument. The cathedral is very nice. It's been there a long time. Tinna and I spent some time there looking around.
Yes,
Another
we
very
did.
popular area for tourists as well.
Very beautiful church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, I would say just from green space, because we always seek out green space when we were there, we actually stumbled upon this park while we were walking from the cathedral to the National Monument. Very nice park, set up for locals. You saw a lot of people walking and exercising and just, spending time out there, just outdoor.
Everywhere that we travel, we ask ourselves the question, could we build a community here?
Yeah, I would say, for us, we did have the opportunity to meet a couple of fellow travelers. We had one solo traveler that we met. We actually had spent some time with him in Bali, and just ironically, he was visiting Jakarta at the same time we were, so we did get a chance to hang out with him.
We also met some other fellow travelers in our first hotel. And the unique thing about this couple is that they were twin brothers.
Yeah.
So it was just fun. First of all, getting to know them, and for me, trying to figure out which one was which because they were identical twins. So, we tend to meet people, like we said, in the hotel. We find a way to build a community and talk with people. You have to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to go up to people and just introduce yourselves, or if you're at breakfast or dinner and you feel the need to speak, then speak. You never know where that conversation will lead you.
Yeah, now one thing I will say, in a lot of our videos, we talk about the communities that we belong to, Go With Less and
Grounded Life.
But I will say this, Jakarta is not a location you see a lot of people in our community, at least, visit. So, for us, I don't know that we expected a lot of fellow travelers, but we were able to meet travelers while we were there.
We were, yes.
Now, English. What about English?
English was very wide spoken, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
At least we can say for the hotel staff.
Yes.
Because I think that they're going to be running into a lot of tourists and foreigners. So we can definitely say from that aspect that the English was well spoken.
Yeah, and I think I would say maybe the few places we went that were not associated with the hotel, like when we were sightseeing and some of the attractions, some of the restaurants, those people did speak English, and when they didn't, of course, we just brought out the Google Translate.
Yeah.
And that worked out well.
And once again, these are restaurant owners, so they're getting a lot of tourists in. So I think that they want to make sure that they at least know the basic English language. So we not much problem there.
Right.
Now, the question is, could we live in Jakarta? And would we visit Jakarta again?
I would say I would definitely like to visit again. I think, the time of year that we were there this time, with the air quality issues we experienced and the construction, because the construction was an issue in some of the areas, I would like to come back at maybe a time where the air quality is a little bit better and we could get out and see a little bit more. So I'm not ready to say that we would, spend a long amount of time here yet, but I would say I would like to visit again just to get a better feel for the city. Jakarta definitely surprised us, but now we want to hear from you. We'd like to know, could you live in a city that large? I mean, because this is one of the world's largest cities. Or would the traffic and air quality be something that would rule it out? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
And guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our video. And stay tuned. Our Jakarta cost of living video will be out next week. Thanks for watching.